Right. All joking and bits aside, let's do this. A moment of sincerity. It's been decided. Quite a strong thing. I'm the second I say this, I'm going to hear lots of people crying. Like, even though this episode has not even aired, somehow people will hear this in their very souls. We have decided that 2021 is going to be the last year of FRUK Unwrapped.
Right.
We decided that the show sometimes must not always go on, and for no other real reason other than we feel that we've got everything out of the show. We feel that we've done everything that we wanted to do with it, and food is quite a tough, depending on how you set out your show and what you do with your show, food's quite a tough subject to continually come up with new things. Food does not move as quickly as we would like in terms of being able to keep regular entertainment, regular shows, and giving you something different fortnight after fortnight. And so, we've covered pretty much everything there is to cover on food. There's a few subjects left still on our list to talk about, and a few other things that we obviously will want to do and tick off the list. So we're not going. This is not the last episode ever, so don't worry about that. We've still got a few weeks, months. We haven't yet decided on a final schedule and how this will go, but at some point this year will be our final episode, or at least hiatus. I think is probably to give some optimism.
Yeah.
Be going on an indefinite hiatus. We might come back for the occasional show. We might come back for the occasional little thingamajig if the mood strikes us. But regular scheduling will be very much out the door. Yeah. Sorry to start 2021 with a sour note, but there it is. We thought it was best to give the listeners an idea that things were coming to an end, rather than one day just going, sorry, that's the end. But yeah, it's a hugely emotional moment.
I think it's important to say it's not goodbye, it's just bye, really. No.
Stuart, Michael, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
You just got to look at the recent episodes, Nate. You got 74 fruit, 75 eggs, 76 condiments, 77's the food that you drop in the barbecue and it gets all charcoaly.
We've got Shelby coming on for that episode.
Yeah.
Be nice
that was the show's food.
78 is, episode 60 was biscuits. 78 is biscuit crumbs. Guys, we're it's hard to do this stuff. We can't just incessantly come up. No, go on, Stuart.
Yeah, I mean, we, like you said, we scraped the bottom of the barrel in terms of subjects. What we don't want to do is feel like we're just repeating the same thing over and over again. There's only so many times that Michael can start an anecdote and trail off. There's only so many times that I can pretend to get angry, or there's only so many times that one man can win a quiz. Essentially, that's what's. I've just got tired of being so bloody clever. That's what it is.
That's it.
Really
isn't it? Yeah.
worn me out.
Ironic, given 2020 was probably your worst year for Quivia.
Yeah, it's the biggest tragedy of COVID, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, no, it's been good. We've been doing this for, we're coming up to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really nice. We're all big fans of podcasting as and I'm going to call it an art form.
Yeah.
And have been for a long time. And this has been a learning curve. We've had some incredible guests. We've had some fantastic times. And we've met some wonderful people through doing the podcast. So it's been brilliant. But ultimately, there's only so long you can do it. We've all got other projects and other passions, and we want to devote a little bit of time to them as well.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Dungeons and Dragons' fault. That's where everyone needs to blame.
Yeah, as Stuart says, we've all got other things, and also our family and loved ones as well. I want to devote a bit more time to them. We have recently started Dyson Desire, which is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, which is going really well. We're all on there, so go and check that out, guys. If you're gonna feel a hole from us not being there, then check that out. But as Nate said as well, it's not the definite end. We may come back for the odd special here and there. We're absolutely not ruling that out. And yeah,
it's been good. And you know, just aside from the podcast side of life, you know, it's been good getting to probably Stuart more so, getting to know Stuart as well as MJ. Like, MJ obviously has been a relatively big part of my life for a while, whereas Stuart's always been sort of one of the moons of MJ, so to speak.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's, you know, I've always known him from afar, from a sort of separate thing, but having this podcast has helped me get to know Stuart better. And, you know, Stuart is a absolutely cracking guy. And if it wasn't for this podcast, I wouldn't know him as well. I wouldn't have had, you know, quite the level of conversations that we've had. You know, whether it's on the podcast or aside from it. You know, we've opened up about shit on this podcast. You only need to listen to the 2 healthy eating episodes that we did with the Manfy Fat guys to see that, and think about what we do off channel and the shit we talk about off channel. So it's wonderful, been wonderful to get to know Stuart better. It's been wonderful to solidify the relationship that I've got with Michael. This has been tremendous. I've done podcasting for years, but always on someone else's terms, someone else's shows, and I've always enjoyed it. And this was the first show or first thing that I've created. Even FRUK, you know, FRUK is ultimately is MJ's channel, and as much as I love working and doing the reviews on it, it's still ultimately his channel. If I just suddenly disappeared, FRUK will continue. Whereas this podcast, whilst it's under the FRUK umbrella, it still feels like it's a bit of mine. It still feels like it's mine, it's Stuart's, it's MJ's. We've all put ourselves into this show. And it was wonderful to. I don't know why he's snorting.
Just like I just envisioned like Mills and Boon novels. It's like he put himself inside me. I could feel his full lengths.
But yeah, so this has been a wonderful, you know, passion project that we all got off the ground. We've all enjoyed it for the last near, 3.5 years. It'll be closer to 4 by the time we close out, I imagine.
Oh yeah, and, what is, like, when you say 2021, we are probably talking months rather than the year. Probably a couple months, something like that.
Regardless, even if it's 31st of December, it'll still be months, won't it?
Yeah. There won't be many left.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't set a definitive time frame. There's a few people I'd like to get on as guests because I've either promised them or I've wanted to speak to them. So I want to tick those off. I think it will be a shame not to close out the Quivia tournament.
Yeah.
We've done 2 semi-finals. Now it's whether we just call it a day of that and go for a final off of those, or whether we get a third and then a final. I think it would be nice, given that we've now announced this, I would like to do another call-in show. I really liked the call-in show that we did last year. It was really nice to talk to the fans that enjoy this.
And I think doing it after announcing this, it's gonna just turn into one sort of big circle jerk, which I think I personally will find really gratifying. Don't know about you two.
But also, it's nice for you to gratify someone else.
Exactly, mutual gratification is sort of important in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, and I think maybe even another tournament. We haven't done a tournament for a while. So we don't know exact details yet, but it's just, this was just a decider that we thought it was best to give you guys the heads up that we've got. I would say maximum 6 months, but possibly less. So So yeah, the end of Unwrapped to be. But yeah, as Michael said, come and listen to us if you fancy it. If you still want to hear these 3 voices, come and listen to us on Dice and Desire. All three of us are involved there.
Or this voice.
Yeah. Or Stuart's voice. What does Dweedle say?
Much the same as me. Doesn't really have a voice, does he? So.
Yeah, and I do
the tempo sometimes rises a little bit with Dweezil.
The tempo speaks a little bit quicker. Yeah, but it's not. I can't really do that voice though, can I?
No,
it's not a voice, is it?
It's more.
It does sound very similar to you, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? It's almost like we're the same man.
Almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen to us there if you wish to. If, as Michael said, if you do feel a hole.